Welcome to our video on October 2020 astrology forecast. The Sun will be square Jupiter from the 10th of the month through the 12th, as well as the Sun opposing Mars from the 13th until the 14th of October. And Mars will be square Jupiter from the 17th to the 21st. And also these planetary aspects will place planetary archangel Michael of the Sun into divergence with planetary archangel Sachiel of Jupiter, as well as placing enmity between Archangel Michael and Seraphim Samael of Mars. So remember, Archangel Michael is of the Sun and Seraphim Samael of Mars. As the month progresses, Seraphim Samael will also get into a conflict with Sachiel of Jupiter. Now, ironclad willpower for conquest will clash against the ego power to be a hero. And get ready for a blue moon on the 31st, because there's a harvest moon on the 1st and a hunter's moon on Halloween night, or All Hallows Eve, also called Samhain. Now, so that you will know when and which angelic forces to invoke in October of 2020, we'll give you the planetary transits and ingresses for all zodiac signs, along with corresponding elemental and planetary guardian archangels, the astrology chart, horoscope houses, station changes, including this month's featured planetary aspect formula, as well as the associated zodiac angels using universal time coordinated. Universal time coordinated is also basically similar to, basically the same as Greenwich Mean Time. And we're also using tropical astrology. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. I'm a Rosicrucian seer, biblical astrologer, Christian psychic, and Gnostic mystic. And this is a Readings by Rosemary angelic transmission. Now, regarding the Astrology Angel Magic invocations and horoscope prediction method, which we teach, remember it should be used with all mindfulness, since powerful forces of manifestation are unleashed. This is intended exclusively for entertainment purposes. All right, now we're going to begin with October 2020. That's going to be Astrology Angel's Magic forecast for all zodiac signs, all 12 signs. And we're going to start off with the sign of Aries, the Ram. So here we have Aries the Ram. And we're going to bring this in a little closer for you so that you can see it well as we go around the zodiac. Okay. Now, for Mars and Aries, for the sign of the Ram, and regarding the planet Mars, here, on October 1st through the 31st of 2020, Mars is retrograde, and it continues transiting to the sign of Aries, here, Aries the Ram, which is analogous to the natural first house of self and appearances. Planetary archangel, the Seraphim Samael of Mars, visits dwelling of zodiac angel Int'l of the sign of Aries. Also, here we have a full moon in Aries on October 1st, 2020. Luna ingress Aries, which is analogous to the natural first house of self and appearances. Planetary archangel Gabriel of Luna visits dwelling of zodiac angel Int'l of Aries. Elemental archangel for Aries is guardian angel Michael, who presides over all of the fire signs, because Aries is cardinal fire, fire, fire. Now, regarding the Aries black moon Lilith and the black moon Lilith mean or average, we have October 1st through the 21st of 2020, the black moon Lilith. And that's going to be, again, the mean of the average that continues transiting through Aries, and that's, which is similar to the natural first house, again, of self and appearances. Planetary archangel Lilith, Adam's first wife, and also consort of Seraphim Samael, visits habitation of zodiac angel Int'l of Aries. And Seraphim Samael is also related to the planet Mars. So Mars and Lilith are consorts anyway. So there's a lot of fiery and sometimes volatile, sometimes even violent situations. Now, please look at our videos about Black Moon Lilith and the transit from Aries into Taurus on the 21st of October. We made another video about that. It's about not only Black Moon Lilith mean average, but also about the true Black Moon Lilith, the oscillating, of which the mean is an average of, and how you need to know both if you want to understand what's going to go on with the Black Lives Matter situation and the protests and the riots and the violence. If you want to know what's going to happen with that, you got to watch that, because it'll tell you how the actual true Lilith might transit back into a volatile Aries situation, because that's the back and forth, whereas the mean just sort of gives you the average, and it doesn't have that zigzag of going back and forth. Therefore, even though we see that things will be in Taurus after the 21st, regarding Black Moon Lilith mean or average will be in Taurus after the 21st of 2020, and things will become about ownership rather than about rioting. Still, because the true Lilith and the oscillating Black Moon Lilith will be zigzagging back and forth, you need to know when there's going to be some actual violence that might take place under the surface of that. That'll be very important to understand. Now, the general for Aries for October 2020, we have your opinion of yourself, and your personality is associated with how competitive, tough, strong, and brave you are about conquering your objectives. That's for the general for Aries for October of 2020. Now we're going to move along to the sign of Taurus the Bull. And for the sign of Taurus the Bull here, Taurus the Bull, we have a blue moon on October 31st, 2020, lunar ingress into Taurus, into the sign of Taurus the Bull, okay? And that will be this full moon at 100% illumination for the second full moon this month. That's going to be the second full moon this month, also known as a blue moon. It's known as a blue moon. Now, Taurus is similar to the natural second house of money and possessions. Planetary Archangel Gabriel of Luna, the moon, visits habitation of Zodiac Angel Asmodel of Taurus. Elemental Archangel for Taurus is Guardian Angel Uriel, who presides over all of the earth signs. All of the earth signs. And if you want to understand more about the full moon, there's two moons. There's a harvest moon and a hunter's moon, and the hunter's moon is a blue moon in October of 2020. Go ahead and watch our video about the moons, all three moons, just focusing on those moons, and it focuses on the archangels, and it focuses on also not only the archangels, but it also focuses on some of the musical notes that are healing musical notes for these zodiac signs and for these specific elemental archangels, okay? Very important. Now, Taurus also, we have the planet Uranus, okay? And Uranus from October that's from October 31st to October from October 1st through the 31st, so all month long, Uranus in 2020 of October, Uranus is traveling retrograde. It continues its transit. It's not an ingress. It continues its transit through the sign of Taurus the Bull, which is similar to the natural second house of money and possessions. Planetary Archangel of Uranus is habitation, is going to be visiting the habitation of the Zodiac Angel of Taurus. So the planetary Archangel Ariel, that's A-U-R-I-E-L, of Uranus, and in a retrograde station revisiting, is going to visit the habitation of Zodiac Angel Asmodel of the sign of Taurus the Bull. Okay? Now for the general for Taurus. For the general for Taurus, we have money, possessions, and luxuries will be connected to how mindful you are about new policies and procedures of organizations you are involved with, as well as staying up to date with current fashions and methods of doing things. And moving right along, now we're going to go ahead and move to the sign of Gemini, the twins. So now for the sign of Gemini, the twins. The North Node from October 1st to the 31st of 2020, the North Node retrograde continues transiting through Gemini, which is similar to the natural third house of transportation and communication. Transportation and communication. And the planetary archangel Gabriel of Luna, because this is the true node or the north node of the moon of Luna, visits habitation of Zodiac Angel Umbriel of Gemini. So Gabriel is the planetary archangel of the moon, and the north node deals with the moon, and that's visiting the habitation of Zodiac Angel Umbriel of Gemini, the twins. Now, the North Node does go direct from the 8th to the 10th, and also as well as from the 20th to the 23rd of October 2020. Now, the rest of the time, it's retrograde. Now, we just used to say that the North and South Node are always retrograde, but in actuality, there are a few portions of days, a few times during each month where they tend to go direct sometimes. But generally speaking, the lion's share of the time, 97, 95% of the time, it's going retrograde most of the time. Now, also, we're going to talk about the general for Gemini. The general for Gemini, October 2020, enjoyment of sending and receiving messages as well as visiting relatives, contacts, acquaintances, and associates becomes meaningful during this current incarnation. They become meaningful during this current incarnation. Those things become more meaningful during your present lifetime here in the physical realm on Earth. All right, now we're going to go ahead and move to the sign of Cancer, the crab. And we have the moon. The moon from the 8th to the 11th of 2020, October, Luna ingresses into and transits through Cancer from the 8th to the 11th, which is similar to the natural 4th house of hearth and home and family. And planetary archangel Gabriel of the moon visits habitation of Zodiac Angel Muriel of the sign of Cancer. Now, the general for Cancer, being at home with family becomes an all-encompassing, deeply poignant need, as well as psychic abilities of clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience, cresting high above normal range when put to the test. Okay. Moving right along into the sign of Leo the lion. For Leo, we have the planet Venus. From October 1st through the 2nd, so the first 2 days of October 2020, Venus, planet Venus, continues transiting through the sign of Leo the lion, which is similar to the natural 5th house of children and creativity. Planetary archangel Anael of Venus, aka Lucifer, the shining one, Hillel ben Shachar of Isaiah 14:12, also the bright and morning star of Revelation 22:16, also called the morning star in Revelation 2:28, visits habitation of Zodiac Angel Virchiel of Leo the lion. The general for Leo is that we have the success of your children and creative enterprises will be related to maintaining a superior and elegant ambiance when it comes to design and presentation of educational or artistic venues. Very important for your creativity during this October of 2020, and especially during those first 2 days of the month. Now, for Virgo, we have Virgo. For Virgo, we have the planet Venus. You see the ingress. There's two ingresses here. We have, well, actually, no, excuse me. There are two ingresses, but the one in Leo is just a continuance, whereas the ingress into Virgo and there's one into Libra are ingresses. So we'll start with the Venus ingress into Virgo on the 2nd, and continues transiting through the sign of the Virgin until the 28th. The Virgin is akin to the natural 6th house of habits and health. Planetary Archangel Anael of Venus, again, aka Lucifer, the shining one, Hillel ben Shachar of Isaiah 14:12, also the bright and morning star of Revelation 22:16, also called the morning star in Revelation 2:28, visits abode of Zodiac Angel Hamaliel of Virgo. For Virgo, we have personal daily regimens focused upon issues of attractiveness, and making oneself tempting to the opposite sex could become too meticulous and obsessive, with an overemphasis placed on precision and exactitude. Make sure to balance care of one's sex appeal with general health, fitness, rest, recreation, and work. And now continuing and moving into the sign of Libra, the scales. Libra, the scales. For Libra, and we have the planet Mercury here. For October 28th, 2020, Mercury retrograde here ingresses into Libra, which is analogous to the natural 7th house of law and commitment. Planetary Archangel Raphael of Mercury visits dwelling of Zodiac Angel Zuriel of Libra. Now also, again, we had mentioned that Libra has an ingress. We have Venus, it will ingress into Libra here. Okay? And that, again, Libra is analogous to the natural 7th house of law and commitment. Planetary Archangel Anael of Venus, again, aka Lucifer, the shining one, Hillel ben Shachar of Isaiah 14:12, also the bright and morning star of Revelation 22:16, also called the morning star in Revelation 2:28, visits dwelling of Zodiac Angel Zuriel of Libra. Now, there's more going on this month in Libra, and we have the Sun here, right here. The Sun from October 1st to the 21st of 2020 continues transit through the sign of the scales, which is similar to the natural 7th house of law and commitment. Planetary Archangel Michael of Soul, or the Sun, visits habitation of Zodiac Angel Zuriel of Libra. Also, a new moon in Libra. On October 16, 2020, Luna ingress Libra, which is similar to the natural 7th house of law and commitment. Planetary Archangel Gabriel of Luna visits habitation of Zodiac Angel Zuriel of Libra. Elemental Archangel for Libra is Guardian Angel Raphael, who presides over all of the air signs. And that is it's an overlap where Raphael is not only the planetary archangel of Mercury, but Raphael is also the elemental archangel of all the air signs, of which Libra is cardinal air or fire of air. Now, for the general for Libra, negotiations and signing of contracts will not be good during the second half of the month of October this year, in October 2020. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at Scorpio. Scorpio, the Scorpion. We have the Sun, and we have an ingress. October 22nd. Sun ingress Scorpio, which is analogous to the natural 8th house of birth, sex, death, and debt. Planetary Archangel Michael of Soul, or the Sun, visits dwelling of Zodiac Angel Barchiel of Scorpio. Also, we have Mercury. From October 14th, 2020, Mercury goes retrograde while voyaging through the sign of the Scorpion, which is analogous to the natural 8th house of birth, sex, death, and debt. Planetary Archangel Raphael of Mercury backtracks to dwelling of Zodiac Angel Barchiel of Scorpio. So we have sort of a backtracking going back and forth between Libra and Scorpio. Okay? And we have Scorpio. We also have, we're going to look ahead at, there's another happening here. So first you have the retrograde with Mercury, and then you have the transit from the 1st to the 28th of Mercury, and then it's going to backtrack into Libra. Okay, so just understand that. Now, Scorpio, for the general analysis of Scorpio in October, from the 1st to the 31st of October, we have during the end of the month, especially from the 22nd on, beware that deeply imperative and consequential goals will be able to be obtained through possessing the qualities of having amazing amounts of clout combined with great determination. Although this is not a time to negotiate or sign contracts, because of the retrograde from the 22nd on, and because it's already retrograde at that time. Although you don't want to negotiate or sign contracts from the 22nd on, it is a time to work on your approach. Just make sure to not become too pushy, otherwise you might get yourself into big trouble. Big trouble. All right. We're going to look at the sign of Sagittarius. We're going to take a look at the sign of Sagittarius, the Archer. For Sagittarius, the South Node here, October 1st to the 31st of 2020, the South Node retrograde continues transiting through Sagittarius, which is similar to the natural 9th house of life path, meaning planetary Archangel Gabriel of Luna, but its habitation of Zodiac Angel Anachiel of Sagittarius, because again, this is the South Node of the Moon. And remember, we had mentioned that there are the days from the 8th to the 10th and the 20th to the 23rd when this will be direct, but most of the time in a retrograde station. Now, the general for Sagittarius in October of 2020, the significance of your present course in this lifetime, because the South Node, this lifetime will be associated with how cooperative and curious you are about your past incarnations upon Earth. So Sagittarius, the South Node is about the past incarnations, where the North Node is about the present incarnation. So the significance of your present course, the North Node in this lifetime, will be associated with how cooperative and curious you are about your past incarnations upon Earth, because the South Node is past incarnations, and now it's in Sagittarius. Okay. Now, moving along to the sign of Capricorn, the Goat. We want to take a look at Capricorn, the Goat. And for Capricorn, we have Jupiter, the planet Jupiter, October 1st to the 31st of 2020. Jupiter continues transiting through the sign of Capricorn, the Goat, which is analogous to the natural 10th house of social standing and fame. Planetary Archangel Sachiel of Jupiter visits dwelling of Zodiac Angel Hanael of Capricorn. Also, we have Saturn in Capricorn. From October 1st through 31st of 2020, Saturn continues voyaging through the sign of Capricorn, which is analogous and akin to the natural 10th house of social standing and fame. Planetary Archangel Cassiel, aka Satan, the star of Remphan, mentioned in Acts 7:43, which corresponds to the star of your god Moloch, spoken of in Amos 5:26, of Saturn, visits dwelling of Zodiac Angel Hanael of Capricorn. And also we have Pluto. Now it's going to be turning direct. So on October 4th, 2020, Pluto turns direct while transiting while continuing its transit and its journey through the sign of the Goat, which is similar to the natural 10th house of social standing and fame. Planetary Archangel Azrael of Pluto visits habitation of Zodiac Angel Hanael of Capricorn. Now the general for Capricorn. The general for Capricorn states that power, celebrity, and influence will be connected to how charitable, temperate, sober, stern, and changeable you are. And now, we're going to focus on the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius, the water bearer. We have the asteroid which is Ceres. October 18th, 2020, Ceres turns direct during continued voyage through the sign of Aquarius, the water bearer, which is similar to the natural 11th house of friends and reputation. Greek god Ceres of asteroid Ceres visits habitation of Zodiac Angel Cambriel of Aquarius. And that's again on the 18th, and that going direct, that turning direct. Also, Ceres from October 1st through the 31st of 2020, Ceres continues transiting through Aquarius, which is analogous to the natural 11th house of friends and reputation. And the Greek god Ceres of asteroid Ceres visits habitation of the abode of the Zodiac Angel Cambriel of Aquarius. So we have not only it turning direct on the 18th, but we also have a continued transit from the 1st to the 31st. Not an ingress, but a continued transit from the 1st to the 31st. For general, for Aquarius, in October of 2020, we have a more direct approach, betters your situation after the 18th when it turns direct, especially when it comes to the people that you connect with. The people that you connect with, and which your contacts tell others about you. This type of honest approach will afford you superior repute among acquaintances, provided that you guard well and cultivate your relatives and other close relationships. And now we are going to get to Pisces. We've gotten now to Pisces, the fish. Neptune. October 1st to the 31st of 2020, Neptune retrograde. Neptune retrograde continues transiting through Pisces, which is similar to the natural 12th house of spirituality. Planetary Archangel Asariel of Neptune visits habitation of Zodiac Angel Int'l of Pisces. Notice Pisces, the fish in the ocean, Int'l like amniotic fluid, that amniotic fluid of the ocean, the same thing. Now, the general for Pisces in October of 2020, religious organizations and sacred gatherings will cultivate and help to nurture clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience in their clergy and in their leaders. Now, regarding the October 2020 featured planetary aspect zodiac formula, the one that we're featuring the one that is from October 13th to the 14th of October 2020. And the sun, that's the Archangel Michael in Libra. Oh, excuse me, it's going to be here in Libra. The sun is going to be ingressing in Scorpio, but before that it will be in Libra from the 13th to the 14th. This is when the aspect occurs. It'll be before it goes into Scorpio. It'll be when it's still transiting through Libra, the sun, when it's continuing its transit through Libra. It's going to be opposing. It's going to be opposing at 180 degrees, Mars retrograde. Mars is SERAPHIM SAMAEL, and that's in Aries. Okay, that's going to be a direct. It's going to be a direct from. It's going to be a direct opposite, a direct opposition from the Sun or Archangel Michael in Libra, and that's Zuriel, Zodiac Angel Zuriel, opposing 180 degrees from SERAPHIM SAMAEL of Mars. And that's this planetary SERAPHIM SAMAEL of Mars in Aries. And Mars rules Aries. And it is the Zodiac Angel for Aries is Magida'el. Okay? And that's going, that is going, this opposing force here is going to cause, it's going to cause a time when the need to be feared and respected is going to be more important than the need to be loved and considered nice. So that fear, that ferocity which causes a person to be respected will be more important than being considered nice. That's going to be something that you should pay attention to, especially from the 13th to the 14th of October this month, this year. Now, regarding the associated tarot cards, the planet the Sun is associated with the Sun, with the planet of the Sun. The ancients used to call the Sun a planet and the Moon. They're called, that's the ancient planets of the Sun and the Moon. There were 7 ancient planets. Sun and the Moon were included. Planet just means wanderer. But so the Sun card and associated with the Sun, and the zodiac sign of Libra, the scales, corresponds with the tarot card of justice. So we have the Sun and we have justice. And that's going to be in direct opposition, directly 180 degrees opposing. That's going to be opposing this is the card for, the Emperor is the card for, the tarot card for the sign of Aries, the ram. You see the ram here? You have ram's head here and ram's head here. So it's written into the cards through the symbology of the artwork. You can see it here. Ram's heads. Okay? Now, also, you have the planet Mars, which is associated with the Tower card. And this Rider-Waite deck, this is the jumbo Rider-Waite deck. What you have here is, this is associated with the planet Mars. See and the day is Tuesday that it's associated with, because that's the day of Mars. Okay, because of the god 2. That's the Scandinavian god 2. Okay. Now, this opposition between these two and these two, the opposition is going to be an opposition, 180 degrees opposition. And what that will do is this combination, this formula, brings success through regulations, obligations, and law to take an uncomfortable back seat to the competitive expansion and urge to conquer ruled by the planet Mars, which is associated with, again, the Tower and the zodiac and the zodiac sign of Aries, which corresponds to, again, the Emperor and the Tower, Mars and Aries, as opposing the success of the Sun and justice and the law and the success of law and justice. Okay, opposing. Now keep in mind that you can utilize these things as divination, but more powerfully it can be utilized for magic to change your future. And by simply deciding what you're going to use and understanding it and being the cause rather than the effect, and doing it ahead of time so you can get the archetypes into the higher worlds of absolutes and the world of fire and Bria, the world of water, and the world of Yetzirah, which is the world of air, and finally of Asaya, which is the world of earth. So you have fire, water, air, earth, which happens to be the name Jehovah. the name Jehovah. Okay, that's fire, water, air, earth. That's king, queen, prince, princess, or king, queen, page, king, queen, knight, page. You know, those kinds of things. And tarot decks, that's where all the playing cards comes from. It comes from these Kabbalistic truths. Yes, the Kabbalistic truths. They're called the worlds of the Kabbalistic tree. And world in Hebrew is Olam. Okay, Olam. So it's Olam Absolute in the upper world. It's Olam Bria in the second world, the queen world. And it's Olam Yetzirah in the prince world, and Olam Asaya in the princess world. Now keep in mind that achieving goals and accomplishing phenomenal and accomplishment and phenomenal success through astrology, angel, magic, supernatural interventions are all possible if one knows when and whom to evoke. Magicians must also consider how various planetary and zodiacal angelic beings will interact with each other, making sure to evoke, which is to call upon, or to invoke, which is to call into your magic circle, or to invoke into yourself potent forces of light that will extend into the facets of the Magi's life, predetermined by her or him for specific purposes in alignment with true will. Magic must be taken seriously, since it is an ancient method of manifestation intended for practical victories over constricting forces which set our 3D physical reality well into motion. Magic has rules just like any other science, which must be devotedly applied to practice. Magicians strive not to break natural laws, but rather to understand how Mother Nature manifests her creation so that we are able to work in tandem with her. Information found in this document and in this video is based on the oral tradition known as Kabbalah, taught to me by Rosicrucian clergy when I was but a young girl, the facts of which I have committed to memory. Please like, tap the bell for notifications, share, subscribe, and make friendly comments. And also, thank you for joining us, and please join us again.